You can't make peace when someone has been so nefarious, in my opinion.
Who the was these people supposed to go to? You can't go to the boss because the boss is you. And the boss's boss don't get no
Either your fear consumes you or you become insensitive. It hardened me a little bit. It made me accept the fact that I'm not in control. So we could die any day now. It's just, I've secured my son's life.
Sylvester Stallone and Jaguar Wright. Who would have thought that the names of these two celebrities would be mentioned in the same bracket? For starters, they don't even belong to the same industry. Stallone is a celebrated actor whose Rocky franchise is the icon of 80s Hollywood. Wright, on the other hand, is a singer who's been here and there and done a couple of things but doesn't have the same weight and pull as Stallone. So putting their name in the same sentence kind of feels weird, right? Well, it turns out they have one thing in common: exposing the ills in the entertainment industry.
Is the Illuminati real? Is that a real thing? I mean, you can give it the name you want to give it. I call it petting.
You see, Jag started this thing a while back, but was dismissed as a mental patient, and her statements were ridiculed. However, it appears many celebrities are beginning to see the light and are joining hands with the singer to direct that light onto the dark parts of Hollywood. One of such celebrities is Sylvester Stallone. Once the darling boy of Hollywood, the iconic actor recently stoked the flames when he co-signed Jag's words on the evil in the industry. Many were surprised, especially coming from a cool, calm, and collected idol such as Stallone. Just when everyone was skeptical about the whole issue, 50 Cent also threw in his hat, endorsing Jag's statements. The endorsements from these celebs have divided the internet, with some fans praising Stallone in particular for his bravery, while others feel that he has ventured to cuckoo land. So, what did Stallone and 50 Cent say that has got the internet buzzing? Let's get right into it.
You can't make peace when someone has been so nefarious.
Since the success of the Rocky franchise in the 80s and 90s, Stallone and the producer of the series, Irwin Winkler, have not seen eye to eye. The reason? Well, they can't just seem to agree on who actually owns the franchise. The two have been at each other's necks, trading words at the slightest provocation. During their almost 3-decade beef, Stallone has limited his attacks to Irwin Winkler, calling him a charlatan and a nefarious person. However, he recently appears to have extended his attacks to the industry itself, calling it a blood. He has lambasted the elites, comparing them to a group of blood who drain the life out of other industry players. He feels that they just take advantage of whoever they can to line up their pockets and further their agenda in Hollywood. Using himself as an example, Stallone claimed that he had no rights to Rocky, which was kind of shocking to most fans. I mean, when we think about Rocky, the first image that comes to mind is a bloodied Stallone on the canvas of a boxing ring, fighting for his life. However, from the look of things, Sly won't have any legacy from the movie franchise to leave for his wife and children.
Yeah.
Beautiful children, beautiful wife. When I'm long gone, this is you.
Right.
This is what I made for you.
This is part of my legacy that I...
That's never going to happen.
He explained that he currently had to beg Irwin Winkler for whatever he needed to do with any character or any plot of the movie. Meanwhile, he wrote and created all the characters by himself, including the Creed character that Winkler and his children have metamorphosed into its own franchise. According to the Expendables actor, he didn't know how Irving Winkler put him in that position because he thought the whole thing was going to the studios. But as it turned out, Irving maneuvered his way to get the full rights to the movie with the support of some elites in the industry. Thus, he has to ask permission from Irving Winkler if he ever decides to produce a spin-off from the Rocky franchise with any of the characters in the movie.
The studio owns it. How he got that, I don't know, which means I have to beg him that, can I do this? Can I do that?
Stallone feels that the industry elite aren't being fair to him, handing everything over to his nemesis without giving him a penny. Though he didn't say it publicly, many sources claim that the iconic actor thinks that Winkler did something shady to get the deal. He's now beginning to think that the Illuminati that the likes of Jaguar Wright and Cat Williams have been talking about is true. Stallone is at pains to explain how he lost his most cherished legacy. Maybe Winkler bent over at one point during his feud with the actor, which got him the rights to the movie. Mind you, Stallone Stallone claimed in the interview that getting the rights was never going to happen, which means going the legal route would yield no results. If this isn't the work of any secret organization, what is? But that's not all. Recently, Stallone went Rambo on Hollywood for using one of his iconic characters, Drago, calling the decision horrible.
In my opinion, so horrible.
Winkler and his sons had announced that they were producing a new franchise for Drago, one of Rocky's many nemesis. However, the news didn't go down well with Sly Stallone, who took to Instagram to register his displeasure. Sharing a couple of screenshots of the announcement, the Golden Globe winner wrote, "Once again, Irwin Winkler, this pathetic 94-year-old producer and his moronic vulture children, Charles and David, are once again picking clean the bones of another wonderful character I created without even telling me." He then apologized to the fans for his words, but he had some choice words for his longtime friend Dolph Lundgren, who would be reprising his role as Drago in the franchise. "I apologize to the fans. I never wanted Rocky characters to be exploited by these parasites." Stallone continued, "By the way, I once had nothing but respect for Dolph, but he never told me about what was going on behind my back with the character I created for him. Real friends are more precious than gold." Stallone then followed this post up with a series of attacks on Irwin Winkler and his family, calling them blood. After Irwin Winkler and family Rocky dry, he wrote, "Presumed to be the most hated, untalented, decrepited, sick producer in Hollywood and his cowardly children have found their next meal. Drago, return my rights, blood." He continued his tirade by shifting from Irwin Winkler and his sons to aiming a thinly veiled jab at the Illuminati, claiming they have destroyed many lives. He called them parasites and block who were only interested in lining up their pockets to the detriment of many souls in Hollywood. Throughout history, so many artists in every industry, recording, painting, writing, you name it, have been destroyed by these blood who have destroyed so many families, lining their pockets with other people. He then quizzed his longtime friend Lundgren on his apparent betrayal. "Dolph, why? Not a phone call? Hashtag parasite producers, hashtag exploited artist victims." This is apparently what Jaguar Wright has been saying for years now. The Illuminati run the world like gods and take advantage of people.
They all want to be gods, you know? They want to run the world.
In her estimation, the Illuminati only favors people who join their club and engage in dark and evil deeds to please the elite. Such people always get the biggest portion of the cake and reap all the fame and glory that Hollywood can offer. Those who refuse to bend over are often left on the fringes of the industry, scrambling for crumbles that fall from the table of the mighty. Jag has claimed that the elite were destroying the industry and the lives of people who depend on it. She has actually exposed a few of the people she considers to be elite and has suffered for it. Recently, she was arrested and sent to jail before she was released, with many of her fans thinking that the elites had finally gotten through to her.
I literally had handcuffs put on me.
Yeah, wait, that morning.
While we were at the front desk showing the attendant that he was stalking us and the hotel live online.
However, she only spent about 30 hours before she was freed on a $0 bond, and since then, she has come out swinging. She's done a series of interviews where she delved into the issues surrounding Jay-Z and Diddy, which many fans find eye-opening. Interestingly, Sylvester Stallone isn't the only one who's co-signed Jag's words. Another top celebrity who appears to have endorsed Wright's statements about the evil in the industry is 50 Cent. The rapper has, over the years, been on Diddy and Jay-Z's case, exposing them for their alleged evil deeds. He was one of the few rappers who openly spoke about Diddy's S before the issue blew up in the media.
You take me shopping? This is a little fruit pop. It's a fruit pop.
Now, this clip was about 7 years ago, but its message is felt today. A few men have come out to out Puff for trying to force himself on them. Since then, the 48-year-old has gone on to expose the evil in the industry, having been a victim himself in the early stages of his career. Y'all remember how he was shot multiple times in 2000 after a black Ford Expedition pulled up in front of his house and unleashed a hell of bullets.
Like I said, I know after 50 got shot, I just pulled up to the block and it was shells. I thought he was dead.
At the time, many people had heard about him and had tipped him to be the new rap king of New York. Even in the hospital, industry executives were scrambling to pen his signature, with Columbia Records winning the race. But they had to drop him. 50 was blacklisted from every studio in the US because some higher-up didn't want his career to progress. Thus, he had to relocate to Canada to start all over again. In Canada, the rapper produced about 30 mixtapes to get back in the game. In an interview with Hit Quarters, Mark LaBelle explained how he did it. He took all the hottest beats from every artist and flipped them with better hooks. They then got into all the markets on the mixtapes, and all the mixtape DJs were messing with them. So 50 knew exactly what he was talking about when he started exposing the dirty game. If somebody could get paid to end his life, then there was no telling what the elites could do to get their way. When asked in an interview with Howard Stern why somebody would want to unalive him, this is what 50 had to say.
Explain to me again why this guy was hired to shoot you 9 times.
Well, you was paid because someone, felt like that I would potentially do something to them if they kept going in the direction.
However, the shooting nor the blacklisting did little to impede his progress as he came back stronger, releasing hit songs, building his own record label, and now venturing into TV. 50's success in the game is all down to success, hard work, determination, and a strong spirit. He's not the one to easily be pushed down by the dark side of Hollywood. This explains why he's unafraid to expose them, because what's worse than shooting a man 9 times and blacklisting him from all the studios in the US? The rapper has been to hell and back, and it appears that his experience has made him stronger and better. However, he feels like he needs to protect all the newbies that come after him, which is why he has to expose the dark side. When asked what was the elite's motivation for destroying lives and careers, the candy shop rapper claimed it was money.
The money is the root of all evil, or the lack of money is the root of all evil.
Recently, the rapper claimed that Jay-Z was complicit in Diddy's crimes when the feds stormed the Bad Boys CEO's houses in Miami and Los Angeles. He tweeted an image of Jay-Z at the airport and insinuated that the Empire State of Mind rapper was running away from the feds. Though he didn't make any direct accusations, he suggested that Jay-Z was in on all of Diddy's crimes. Interestingly, Rodney Jones Jr., who once worked with Diddy, claimed that Diddy didn't operate alone but was part of a larger group. So this kind of segues into 50 Cent's expose, implying that Jay-Z could be a member of the Ring. And guess who has been at pains to explain that Jay-Z was a member of a group that wreaked evil on Hollywood? Jaguar Wright.
When I say Corey, I'm talking about Cathy White.
Oh yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
Jay-Z's pregnant mistress, who died of an imaginary aneurysm.
Jag has claimed that Jay has wasted the lives of a couple of women in the industry, including Cathy Koreana White, a young, healthy woman who passed away due to a brain aneurysm. His sudden demise surprised everyone because she didn't show any sign of sickness the week before she breathed her last. Well, according to our Jag, Cathy was Jay-Z's mistress who got pregnant for him, but wanted to keep everything private. Unfortunately, Jay-Z allegedly didn't want to ruin his marriage with Beyonce because it could spell doom for his career and image, so he had Cathy terminated.
Just like the woman who was best friends with Kim and Kimura, who wrote the book Bling and died as soon as it made the bestsellers list.
Jag has been on Jay's neck for allegedly ending the life of Erica Kennedy, a New York Times bestseller who wrote the book Bling, a satire of the hip-hop industry. In 2010, she was placed on the 100 most influential Black Americans published by Ebony magazine. 2 years after chalking the milestone, Kennedy's body was found lifeless, with the coroner never publicly releasing the cause of death. As expected, this led to countless conspiracy theories. However, the one that stuck with most fans is the theory involving Jay-Z. Well, according to Jaguar Wright, Jay-Z used to date Erica Kennedy, who was also the sister of the late Kim Porter, Diddy's ex-girlfriend. It isn't clear when the purported romance began, but Kennedy eventually became pregnant with Jay-Z, who was already married to Beyonce. Just like in the case of Cathy Koreana, Jay allegedly terminated Erica. She explained that these victims had nowhere to turn.
Who the was these people supposed to go to? You can't go to the boss because the boss is and the boss's boss don't get
She explained that the elites had their roots deep in law enforcement and that there was nothing these victims could do. They couldn't run to their bosses because they were the ones taking advantage of them. Neither could they run to the authorities because they would turn a blind eye. Thus, they passed away with no one knowing exactly what sent them to their early graves. Jag believes that these young women were sacrificed by Jay and Beyonce to further their careers and the agenda of the Illuminati. Now, before you also rubbish Jag's theories, remember that a few years ago, Jay-Z got the beating of his life from Beyonce's wife in an elevator. It wasn't known what caused the fight, but the grapevine buzz had it that Jay had cheated on Beyonce. So, if Jay could allegedly cheat on Beyonce, then it is possible he had been sleeping with these women. After all, it is said that once a cheat, always a cheat. Of course, this video precedes Jag's tantrums, but it somehow lends credence to her statements that the former Def Jam president is evil. Aside from these women that he has been accused of sacrificing, speculations indicate that the rapper is fond of eliminating competition. Some people, including Jag, have claimed that Jay-Z ended some of the rap pioneers so that he could make way for himself. Wright alleged that Jay offed Big L, one of the game's frontier rappers, because he couldn't beat him in the game. She explained that the two were great pals and that Jay used to open for Big L whenever he had a concert or was involved in a rap battle.
Big L is the one that put Jay-Z on.
Wow.
Jay-Z was the last person to see Big L alive.
Big L was shot in a drive-by incident in 1999, and one man was arrested for the crime. The man, Gerard Woodley, was later released for lack of evidence, but he was shot in the head 7 years later. So, as we speak, Big L's demise remains a mystery, with no trace of who actually pulled the trigger. However, Jag appears to have an idea of who did it, and is pointing the cops to the right person. The singer is so convinced that Jay-Z was the one who called the hit on Big L and is prepared to go to court to prove her claims. Thus, she dared Jay to sue her in court. She said that she had a lot more to reveal concerning Jay and Big L's case, but was only willing to say it in a court setting. She, therefore, pleaded with the Roc Nation president to sue her so she could expose him for his alleged dirty and shady dealings.
Please sue me. I want to go to court.
Wow.
I want to tell everybody in the world all the things that Big L told me about you when I was fucking hell.
Aside from Jay-Z, Jag has also had her sights set on Will Smith and his wife, Jada Pinkett, accusing them of running a mentorship program that is destroying their mentees. She claimed that the Hollywood power couple were hypocrites who portrayed a smiley face, but in the dark, they were the devil incarnate. The singer revealed that she's heard reports of boys screaming in the Smith mansion and a few of them escaping by a hair's breadth. She went ahead to drop the names of their victims and girls. It was mind-blowing. From new acts to established celebrities, the Smiths have apparently had their way with these lads.
House, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills, Bashir Gray.
She then dropped a bomb that shook the whole internet. According to her, Will Smith had been sleeping with his own offspring, and Jada knew about the act all along. Many fans didn't only find this shocking, but found the whole story unbelievable and downright ridiculous. They argued that Will Smith and Jada could be a lot of things, but to force their children into such acts was way below them. Once again, they tore into Jag for her unsavory words, with many people recommending that she check into a mental institution to get help. As usual, they concluded that her rantings were just rumblings of an unstable mind. However, Jag wouldn't give up and even called brother Bilal as a witness to what she was saying.
The dusty section.
Bilal told me, Jay, he told me that you knew Will was child.
Now, if you don't remember brother Bilal, he was the guy who recently claimed that he walked in on Will sleeping with Dwayne Martin. He claimed that it was in there, as he saw Dwayne standing behind Will and nailing him to a sofa in the room. His remarks sparked controversy over the internet, forcing Jada to address them in an interview on The Breakfast Club. Jada claimed that she didn't want to address the foolishness that brother Bilal was spewing because he had tried a shakedown before. She acknowledged Bilal and explained that he helped Will in writing his book, but she denied his claims. Instead, she accused Bilal of blackmailing them. They were initially going to pay up, but ultimately decided against it. However, she did warn Bilal that they were going to take legal action.
And this is a person that tried a shakedown, a money shakedown that didn't work. We're going to take legal action.
However, Bilal remained unfazed by the threat of legal action and instead doubled down on his accusations. He said on the platform with Tasha K, "The reason Will and Jada responded, they know it's true. They responded in less than 9 hours. He knows what I saw in that dressing room. Jada, listen, in 2 weeks, if you don't sue me in 2 weeks, if Tasha K will have me, I'm back here and I'm dropping evidence." It's been well over 2 weeks since Jada Pinkett threatened to sue and brother Bilal to bring more evidence. We've seen nothing from either camp. There has been no legal action from the Smiths and no new revelations from Bilal. Many fans suspect Will and Jada may have quietly called Bilal and paid him the difference to make everything go away. However, Jaguar, as usual, has her own theory.
Bilal told me, Jada, he told me that you knew Will was your child, as he did.
Wonder why he left that out of his Tasha K interview. He said everything but the thing that was important. That he know that Will Smith, Jaden, he raped Bashir and he raped Meek Mills, and you know it, Bilal. Now I don't give no how far in the desert you run. Go from a Philly nigga to a sand, they'll still get you.
If that is what truly happened, then Jaguar Wright's accusations could have some truth in it. Mind you, she said both Will and Jada are bi. Gradually, Jag is carving a niche for herself as a truth-sayer and a revealer of hidden secrets in Hollywood. Fortunately for her, others like Sylvester Stallone and 50 Cent have seen the good in what she's doing and have joined forces with her. Many fans hope that other celebrities will join the drive to cleanse Hollywood of the evil tag in recent times. And with this, we draw the curtains for today's video. Thanks for watching.